Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Mahakwadash. I want to give about honor to the apostles and the elders, great males, who taught us is 100% truth, according to the spirits to be Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect after a portion of his word, through the four corners of the earth, and true sincerity. And peace and blessings to you hopeful believers out there, which are also a part of the elect. I say Shalom. And once again, I want to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Mahakwadash. Forgive me the Hara Chakwadash, the Holy Spirit, to do the lesson on today. Living in the feast, and the sheets of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. So if you don't know, you know. If you don't know, now you know. But if you don't know, EBT and SNAP, you know, Trump is, he's already signed this. He's really signed this bill towards the beginning of the year. But EBT and SNAP, you know, is the Esau, you know, Yahweh Shai has Esau disannulling that little contract. And as a matter of fact, let me get a precept going into that real quick. Cause that what you see happening, man. Yeah, as you know, hold on. Because as you know, EBT, SNAP, Esau's cutting that shit off, man. And a lot of people are tripping out because we know, of course, a lot of women benefit from the EBT and SNAP. But on a large scale, if you really think about it, a lot of Judah, a lot of the Israelites in Babylon the Great, they benefit off of EBT. That's why you had the nigga Kevin McCall. You know, that he crying, he wrote songs for Chris Brown, but this nigga used EBT. And you got this other individual, this nigga, that I'm finna show you that Elder Manata Zaba, had recorded. But this is prophecy, this is the Lord bringing that, putting them in the house of mourning, man. Right? So this is Isaiah 28 and 18. It says, "And your covenant with death." Who is death? Who is the physical embodiment of death on earth? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, right? So it says, "In your covenant with death," or Esau Edom, the so-called white man, "should be disannulled, and your agreement with hell should not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then you shall be trodden down by it." You see, and that's what's going to happen. The covenants that, the Israelites, well, they ain't even fucking Israelites, the black Native American Latinos have made with Esau Edom, they're feeling the backlash of those covenants because Yahweh Shai is disannulling those covenants and bringing hell upon them, man. And this is all a part of prophecy because, in a nutshell, this is going to cause a lot of uprising, a lot of pushback, a lot of rebellion. As brothers say all the time, we're in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, man. So I'm going to play a little bit of this clip, and I'm going to pull a couple precepts, Lord, you edified.
Who bragged about spending thousands of dollars a month on her EBT card, just had her benefits terminated. This means taxpayers are off the hook, as this woman will no longer have her 12 kids, she's pregnant with triplets, 100% supported by taxpayer-funded food stamps. That's because President Donald Trump is putting an end to abuse and fraud in federal assistance programs. Trump says he is saving taxpayers from paying for endless dependency and is bringing accountability to the programs. The woman gained popularity online by posting videos of herself shopping at Sam's and Costco, flaunting massive grocery hauls paid for with food stamps. However, the Trump administration is ramping up audits and eligibility.
Real quick, that's one thing I want to point out too, because it's a constant pattern with Jake. They get shit and they like to flaunt. They like to show that they got it. Yeah, look at me. 1K on my EBT card. Like all that bullshit, man. Doing all that extra shit, man. Jake has a prideful ass spirit on him, man. Especially these women. But we'll get back to the video.
reality checks and putting an end to these types of situations. The woman is now complaining that her EBT benefits have been terminated, forcing her to prepare quote-unquote meager meals for her large family, like small portions of eggs, waffles, and sausage on 9 plates, a big difference from her previous extravagant shopping sprees. Last month, the woman, who refers to herself as Girl Quake, went viral with a cooking video where she prepared a large breakfast, including buttermilk waffles, French toast, sticks, blueberry waffles, and Roger Wood sausages, all purchased with her EBT card. Earlier that month, she showcased a grocery haul of more than $1,000 paid entirely on EBT, including multiple packs of snacks, meats, and produce, bragging that everything is free. Trump's reforms, SNAP verification, and fraud detection measures have already identified thousands of ineligible recipients who are being booted off the program.
And I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Because men have been saying it for years. But y'all ain't want to listen to them. And it just came to realization, well, I've been through this. But it's coming to realization for some of y'all that I don't need men. I don't need a nigga for this. I don't need a nigga for that. It's catching up with y'all asses. The government said they going to cut off y'all food stamps for a month. Y'all talking about going to stores and stealing. Y'all solution is going out there and doing shit like that. But y'all wouldn't even have to do shit like that, because if y'all would give these good men a fucking chance and stop being stuck up in y'all fucked up ass way and stop trying to fucking beef and be rivals with men, you will be straight November, because your man will be making sure some food in that motherfucking house, as he should. He'll be making sure those children are fed to the point to where you don't have to worry about nothing. You shouldn't have to worry about nothing, but y'all don't allow men to take care of y'all. Y'all don't want to be taken care of. Y'all want the government to take care of y'all. Y'all don't give a fuck about niggas. That's what the fuck y'all been saying for so long.
3 kids.
I'm gonna pull a precept on that, man. I'm gonna pull a precept on that real quick. Right, this is 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 6. It says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And that's what a lot of these women have been doing for a long time. They've been living in pleasure. They've been enjoying. As you see this bitch, she's at the fucking Sam's. $1,000 at Sam's, bro. That's a 1K at Sam's. You know how much food did you get? You got a lot of fucking food, because Sam's already gives you things in bulk. So if you buy 100K, I go to Sam's, and the most I spend sometimes is like, the most I spent was like 60. And I got a good amount of stuff to last me like almost 2 to 3 weeks, you know. Now, of course, you know, she do got a bigger family. You know, she got like more mouths to feed, but still, that's a lot. That's a lot, man. Right? So these women from this EBT, this SNAP, and right now I'm getting on the women, because of course we know, man, a lot of individuals benefit from EBT SNAP, man. Me, myself, you know, I have a family, we use SNAP, man. You know, we use Winco, we use those particular things. But we understand, according to scriptures, as it says, that, you know, the elect should no longer stay and put on their smoldering, but become the Lord of truth. So when that be taken away, the Lord still got me. You know, I believe the Lord still got me through the promise for the Yahweh Shai. But as for these people, it's been taken away in their covenant with death. It's been taken away that they've leaned upon that wall. As scripture speak about it being that wall that is essentially not a good solid foundation. That's they lean upon it, and then now it's showing forth its faultiness as far as being a good stability, right? So I'm gonna get this real quick. Right, real quick. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8, real quick, 8 and 50. 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 50 says, for many great miseries shall be done to them, that in a latter time they should dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. You see, and these people are feeling a glimpse of some miseries, because misery goes into strong distress of mind, and it could be physically too. So they feeling that mind aspect. You ain't got the EBT, you ain't got that, and then it's going to translate physically, because a lot of these people, the first off, they don't fast, and they're obese. A lot of the U.S. population A lot of them are fucking obese. They don't work out. They don't have discipline. They don't abstain from eating particular things. They eat whatever the fuck. See, niggas was tripping out because Trump was talking about how, with your food stamps, you gotta buy healthy food. I should be able to buy what I want to buy. So it just shows you that these people are so accustomed to living in excess, and what's happening is the Lord is having Esau take away that excess. You see? I'm gonna play this real quick.
Cutting off my Section 8 is like cutting off my air supply. How am I going to breathe and make these and help have these kids breathing as well? I mean, Donald Trump is playing with fire that he don't need to be playing with.
And so, I forgot to make the point because I brought the scripture out because that female, hey, that little chocolate, she wasn't too bad looking, but she could get took. Like, with her mindset, that's a mindset of a Isaiah 41 woman. I need a man. She had a mindset like, see, all y'all bitches was vouching for, I don't need a man. Now that you're in a predicament where a man will sound very good, now y'all, You see, y'all complaining, but that's all because of that pride. Which is, call a lawyer, how about Bashma Bashai? All I say is call a lawyer, how about Bashma Bashai? The Lord is bringing the hearts of daughters low. Because these bitches been prideful for a long time. Even when that nigga Kevin Samuels came in the scene and black men, so-called black men, Judah, and other melanated men, they decided to distance themselves and not really deal with the black woman. These bitches still wasn't phased. So it was like shit. But like the scriptures say, she gonna get brought to the point to where she gonna be ready to be with a man that has more than one woman. Right? So, man, we'll play this clip right here and I'm gonna pull a couple more scriptures and I'm gonna close it out.
And he gonna mess around and get burnt. I don't agree with you cutting off our Section 8. The way I view EBT and stuff like that, EBT has been more prevalent in our black lives than our fathers, right? The government, you did this. You got us addicted to EBT. You made the EBT and food stamps more made us more dependent on them more than our fathers, right? The government.
And I just got to comment on because he's going to say a lot of stuff, man. And that was really all a part of Esau's plan, That was all a part of his plan. As a matter of fact, let me pull this real quick. This is Sirach, also known as Ecclesiastes chapter 12, right? Verse 10, it says, never trust thy enemy, for as iron rustles, so is his wickedness. Which when you read Psalms 83, it gives you a stat sheet, a list of enemies of the Lord and his nation. The top of them being Esau, Edom, the so-called white men, beginning at the top tribe, Amalek, which are the so-called JEW. It says, though he humble himself and grow crouching, yet take good heed of him and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not altogether been wiped away. Has not been altogether wiped away, Salakia. And I want to put it because, like he said this nigga Esau, this was part of your plan. He pretty much said like, this nigga, you weaned us off the titty of our mothers. You weaned us off the order that the Lord established that would be perfect, and you put us upon your rules, your regulations, and now you're gonna take it away from us. And this is all a part of Esau's system. This is all a part of Esau's tactics and his guile, his deceit, because he did that because essentially we know that this all roads lead to the MOTB. How he's gonna allow you to get back in the system and to be back with those particular things that you've been on for years. He's gonna do it by way of initiating that CHIP, the MOTB. And that's why we know that a lot of Israelites gonna take it, because here it is, he's taking away your EBT and all that. But what do you read on the back of the dollar? It's in the Latin. order ab chaos, which means order out of chaos. So they like to bring chaos and be the solution for the chaos. So while Trump is doing all these particular things, there's going to be a solution surrounding it that's going to lead Jake to the slaughter. You see? And through the prosperity of how much shot, we see this. We see this bullshit. We're not deceived by it. We see it clear as day, man.
Replaced our fathers with EBT. So how are you going to take that away from us? You are no different from the deadbeat baby daddies, right? You are no different from the black men that you remove from our homes. Now first off, you remove our fathers, right? And you became our fathers. Now you gonna dip. So now you leaving us with nobody, right? Now you trying to leave us with nobody. Hey, Danielle, I'm mad that Donald Trump is cutting off my air supply. I mean, my food stamps. Because I'm trying not to get mad because I'm thinking that it minds. If I come there, if I check my phone on the 5th and my food stamps is not on my bill, I'm going still on a stealing spree. And I'm the same amount of my food stamp benefit. Police pulled me over. Well, how come you stole $975 worth of food? Because that was $975 I was getting in food stamps. Donald Trump, what's up? Like, this is not no bullshit, right? It's not no bullshit. You removed our fathers and you became our fathers. So now, since we've been dependent on you to take care of us like our father's supposed to, you gonna dip. You gonna act just like the black men that left us. We are victims of not having a father.
So as you see, man, the spirit of these people in. So I'm gonna pull some scriptures, Lord, and you edify. This is Matthew. I'm gonna get Matthew 24. Matthew, and I'm just laying back off the priest, laying back off the Zaquan. Matthew 24, verse 19. No, it's not verse 19. It says, and many false prophets, Salakia, not 12. It says, and because of iniquity, which what is iniquity? Iniquity is a sin upon sin, bro. So it says that because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, and that's what we see happening, man. The love of these individuals, they're waxing cold, and when you get into that word cold in the Greek, it goes into meaning psycho. So these people are developing a psychotic, joker, insane type of mindset because of the conditions that the Lord is bringing upon his earth. Because pursuant to Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our times and the strength of our salvation. So we know that the conditions that the Lord is bringing upon his earth is going to bring away of a psychotic way of thinking for these individuals because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, man. They're losing everything. It's happening fast. That foundation that they believe to be sure is faulty. Pursuant to Luke 6. What are y'all trying to say? He likened a man to hear his sayings to be one that built a house upon a rock. But the one that didn't listen, which means you didn't listen to the prophets, you didn't come back to the obedience of the scriptures, you Israelites, not you heathens, so-called black, Native American Latinos, what's going to be the result? The result's going to be what? That you're going to be in a position where the wind, the destruction, the sand, the water the beats on the house, and your house ain't standing firmly because what you decided to build your house upon. And that's what people are realizing. They're covenants with death. They're covenants with Esau. They're relying on Esau, relying on an individual. If I should say, woe to him to make a flesh his right arm. You see? So I'm going to pull this real quick and I'll close it out. 2 15, and where is it at? Right, this is 2 15 and 15. It says, for the sword and destruction draweth nigh, which we see that happen because of the prophecy pursuant to 2 9, Matthew 24, and countless others. And when people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hand, world war is being spoken about, and even just the aspect of Edomite versus Judah. Judah's being roused up, all type of prophecy playing out, man. For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another, they should not regard their kings nor princes. And that's what the dude literally said. Nigga said, I don't give a fuck. He said, the cops say, why you locked up? And why you bought this amount of food, you know? And he said, because that's how the amount of food that I was able to buy when I had EBT. So they're developing a psychotic, crash out mindset in the times we're coming to. That's why you got to be very subtle. You got to be very wise who you're dealing with and you talk to and what the particular things you say. You know, because these people they're getting psychotic, man. And these people, including your family members, you know, you got to be mindful. Speaking first and foremost to myself, right? So, keep going. It says, a man should desire to go into the city and should not be able. And we see that happening now. You know, you see the development of it happening, the martial law. You know, the U.S. using military instead of the police to initiate law and things like that. It says, because of the pride, the city shall be troubled. You see? Going to put that to that 2 8. The pride. That's why there's destruction. That's why the wrath of the Lord is kindled upon this place, because of the pride. You see? But it says, for because their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy his house with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's the point I wanted to get, because these people losing that EBT to SNAP, which is not just them, you know, it's not just the Israelites. The Israelites just, they benefit the most from it, but a lot of other individuals are going to feel it too. But the Israelites benefit the most from it because that's who the Esau wants to benefit the most from it, because that's who he wants to take to see him. That's what he wants to submit unto him. But this is going to cause people to, like he said, should not regard a king or princes. And Israelites, it ain't nothing for Israelites to steal from another brother, man. It ain't nothing for them to steal from their people. They do it they do it now without being put in a tight situation. How much more now, man? So we in those times, man. So I just wanted to go into this through the prosperity of Yahweh Shai. Ended off with this scripture right here. Habakkuk 2 and 3, man. You gotta bring this out. It's been coming out. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will come and it will not tarry. And that's what's happening, man. The prophecies of Yahweh Shai are not failing. They are coming to pass. Call on Yahweh Shai. Lord will be a part of the elect, man. I'm ended up saying, call on Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Chakwadash. We get the honor to the apostles and the elders of great millstone. And to y'all, I'm going to say shalom.